The Iowa Brown and Black Presidential Forum is the oldest of its kind in the country. It happens every 4 years when we have an election. But this year, well, nearly all Republicans, man, we ain't coming. We ain't coming. Joining us right now to talk about this is the co-founder of the non-partisan group, which was formed, of course, in 1984, is former Iowa State Representative Wayne Ford. How you doing, Doc?
How you doing, Roland? Thank you very much, Roland, for having me on. Thanks.
So what happened here? You got, obviously, Trump is leading. Who said yes and who said no?
Well, Roland, we've been doing this since 1984. And as of right now, no presidential Republican candidate said they wanted to come besides Mr. Ryan Brinkley. He did commit a long time ago. But all the candidates, even when they first started running, Mr. Brinkley committed a long time ago. But we've been doing this so long, Roland, that I thought sooner or later they all will commit. Our last one won an Emmy Award. But as of right now, and it's scheduled for January the 13th, 2024, nobody's committed besides Ryan Brinkley, and that's why my board canceled the forum.
First of all, who the hell is Ryan Brinkley? I don't even know who that is.
Well, I understand, but he's a candidate who's running. There was a lot of candidates who decided to run when we first started, but Mr. Brinkley was the first one who committed. So
you're telling me that Nikki Haley, who spent lots of time with her nonsensical slavery comments on her CNN debate, Vivek Ramaswamy, who he runs his mouth on everything, Christie, Ron DeSantis, none of these folks want to come talk to black and brown folk about the issues we care about, huh?
That's right. That's right, Roland. As of right now, none of them, and that's why we canceled the forum.
See, this is why I keep trying to explain to people that they don't care about black voters. They don't care about issues that issues that matter to us, because they frankly see Iowa as a white evangelical state.
Roland, and I hear you on that, but I tell people that we are the state that gave the country, President Obama, as he won the Iowa caucus here twice in a row. So there's some things that's going on. We were a purple state, now we're a red state. The brown and black group, we are nonpartisan. But the bottom line is, Roland, this is the second time. In 2016, we had Democrats and Republicans, because we're the first in the country, and we had everybody ready to go. Right before the Republican forum happened, they canceled out. So this is the second time this has happened to us, and we've been doing this for almost 40 years.
First time. So what has been the response from other people, black and brown people in Iowa, to this?
They're very disappointed. When it came out that the Iowa caucus would be held on Martin Luther King's birthday, I live in Iowa. I've been living here since 1972. I'm originally from Washington, D.C. So when that first happened, there was a lot of us who said, hey, Martin Luther King's birthday, the Iowa caucus, that's good. So we're saying that we're going to do our forum 2 days before Martin Luther King's birthday, on the 13th. Martin Luther King's birthday is on the 15th. Great deal of excitement. We all was excited because of the correlation of the two events. Well, that's not happening. So there's a lot of people who are very, very disappointed.
Questions from the panel. Let's see here. Omakongo, you first.
First of all, Mr. Ford, thank you for your incredible work and dedication to our community over the years as representative, and the work you're doing now for these past decades. I never see any stories about black people in Iowa in any of the news stories. Can you give us a sense? I know you talked about them being disappointed that this was canceled, but what's their overall sense that, from your pulse of it, about these candidates from the black community, from the black and brown community in Iowa that you're seeing?
They're very upset because of all the issues that this state has gone to. For many years ago, we were number one for black incarceration of men. For many years ago, we've had negative things for this state that we have had to deal with. And I got that. I did some legislation that helped us not become number one anymore. But everybody was excited because of the time of the Martin Luther King birthday on the Iowa caucus, January 15th. Now, I know some people didn't quite understand, hey, well, why are you going to do it on Martin Luther King's birthday? We have done presidential forums here in Iowa on Martin Luther King's birthday. So those of us who live in this state was just enjoying the moment, black and brown and white. Everybody was excited. We only canceled the forum 3 weeks ago when we recognized we only had one committed candidate. We started this in 1984. I think you know what I'm trying to say. So there's a great deal of a disappointment. There's questions about the Civil War. There's questions about slavery. Well, this forum, I mean, we was Tavis Smiley. Tavis Smiley did his first presidential forum with the brown and black. Lester Holt did his first presidential forum with us, Soledad O'Brien. We go back almost a half a century. We were very upset.
Julian?
Well, first of all, I've been to Iowa a couple times. There are a few black people hanging around there. So it's great to make your and to see you.
Oh, yes.
Forum, which is really important. Can you help us, Nikki Haley, talk about slavery? Iowa is a very significant state in terms of Black history. Can you share some of the things that many people don't know about Iowa and Black history?
Thank you. Yes, Fort Des Moines, back in 1913, 1912, during the time of World War I, the president wanted to teach black people how to fight during World War I. The Secretary of State sent out letters to all the states during World War I and asked them, are you willing to give a black man a gun so he can learn how to fight, to be a fighter in World War I? No state replied besides one, and that was the great state of Iowa. When I got a chance to meet Colin Powell many years ago, and I said, Colin, if we didn't make that move back then, you might never been a 5-star general. Those are things that people don't talk about. The National Bar Association in my hometown of Washington, D.C. But guess where it started? You know what I'm going to say. It started in Des Moines, Iowa. So there's the things here that nobody knows about, but we who live here, we know. The Field of Dreams.
Nelson?
Mr. Ford, appreciate the work that you do. In recent history, typically Republicans do not show up to NAACP forums, Urban League forums, National Action Network, etc. And this is the first that I've heard about the brown and black forums in Iowa. Have they traditionally participated before the previous president?
No, if they would have committed to this one, this would have been the first one. In 2016, they said they was going to give a commitment. We was all did a press conference at the state capitol, but at the last moment, they did not show up. So again, this would have been the first one. But we've been doing this since 1984. We have done things with the governor. We have done governor debates where we had Republican and Democrats going against each other. But for all these years, when I started this as a young man, I'm 72 years old now. But so as of right now, it has not happened. So that's the message. But on the other side, when President Wilson sent out an invite to all the states in America, nobody responded and said they will give a black man a gun besides the state of Iowa. And we got Fort Des Moines here right now. So there's many kind of ups and downs. I got that. Most states can talk about good and bad. But as of right now, I really just don't know what's going on. And there's a lot of people upset, especially with all this issues of slavery and the definition of slavery. In case people don't know, because a lot of times people ask me, did Iowa fight for the South in in the Civil War? Iowa fought for the North during the Civil War. Just want to clarify that.
So in the history of this, Republicans have never shown up?
Right, on the presidential level since 1984.
Wow. And then they wonder why black folk do not support them. All right. Well, Wayne, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so very much. Good luck. You know what? I'll say this here, Wayne. I totally get because they're not showing up. But frankly, I would still have a conversation, discussion, and have some empty podiums because the issues still matter. The issues still matter to our people. They should be embarrassed for not showing up because what they're actually, and yes, we're not talking about a large percentage of black and brown people in Iowa, but this also speaks broadly. If they won't show up for something going back to 1984, then frankly, they don't give a damn about us in other states as well.
Thank you for that input. Thank you for that advice, Roland.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.